So you're thinking about moving to the US or visiting? Well, there are some shocking things that you might want to learn before you set foot on American soil, and I'm going to share them with you today. First off, laws and states. The United States has 50 different states that all have hundreds of different rules, regulations, and laws that you need to follow. On top of that, there's this thing called federal laws, which basically govern the entire country and all its territories. And then on top of that, local governments have the authority.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
To regulate and create laws for areas that the federal government do not cover, such as education, highway laws, so on and so forth. Think of this like a household where the dad's the federal government. He creates all the rules for the entire house, and the mom is the local government. She governs what happens in the bedroom, in the kitchen, what happens in the bathroom, make sure the floor gets swept, make sure the lights turn on. As long as mom's rules and laws don't clash with dad's rules and laws, everything's perfectly fine. Next, let's talk about regions. Something I've learned is America has different regions, and all of them, believe it or not, they're quite different. This is what I've came up with from living here the past 8 years. There's up north, the Midwest, and there's out west, I guess you can call it. For some reason, I forgot to say down south.
Please forgive me. I know now what I do.
Up north is where you'd find states like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York. These are the colder states. You see more snow, it's busier, you have better education and better health care. Then we can go down south where you'll find Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. I can't forget Florida, right? These states are somewhat hotter. You'll get hurricanes here. It's a slower pace of living, and they have a southern accent that makes me giggle a little bit. And then there's the Midwest. The Midwest, I don't know much about the Midwest, but I know there's states like, I think, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, however you say that word. Missouri.
Nice.
These states are in the Midwest. I don't know much about them, apart from the fact that houses are a dime a dozen there. And then we can go out west that has states like California, Las Vegas, and I think Arizona. Don't know much about these either. These are very far west. They're considered really west. I don't consider Midwest west because it's technically east, or central, whatever. And out west, you'll find more expensive states, I believe, hotter states. They see more sunlight than everyone else. People usually go there, make a lot of money, and then move to cheaper states. Now that you know what state is where, what's hot, what's cold, what's expensive, and what's not technically. If you're like myself, you're probably wondering what state is the best to live in since you're a newcomer or an immigrant, and what state will accept you with wide open arms. According to the ACLU, the top 10 states that have strong immigrant support and rights are California, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, Washington, Oregon, Massachusetts, Maryland, Colorado, and Nevada.
I have something to tell you.
Yeah?
And I want to tell you now, just in case the next time that we talk, I'm no longer brave.
I would like if you take the time out to like this video if you're enjoying it or if it's informative. Hit the subscribe button and leave a comment and let me know how things are going for you on your process to moving over here to the United States. Let's get back to the video. This part is very, very, very important. And I said earlier that each state has its own local laws and regulations that you need to follow. Some states are stricter and more serious than others. Here's an example. There was this lady from Pennsylvania that had a firearm in her car. She had a permit in Pennsylvania, but she was driving her car over to New Jersey and got arrested with the firearm in the car. She was supposed to serve I think it was 3 years, but it got reduced through whatever magic she can work. Each state has its own laws that you need to follow. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing anything, because what is good on your side of the state might not be allowed in New Hampshire, for example. Learn the laws for the states that you're going to travel into and stay out of trouble. Now that I've spoke a lot about laws and states, it's because it's very important and it's something that I want you to actually know before you move into this country. Now we can talk about what states are the safest and unsafest states. According to the FBI, the top 5 safest states are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Utah, and Minnesota. Meanwhile, the most unsafe states are New Mexico, Louisiana, Alaska, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Look, remember, each state has its pros and cons. Everywhere you go, there's good and bad. You just have to experience it for yourself and then make that determination if it's something that you can tolerate or not. Not saying go into a war zone or go somewhere that's unsafe to try it out, but ask around, watch reviews, maybe visit, take a trip there, a day or two trip there, and see what it's like during the daytime and at nighttime before you make your conclusion on if that state is safe or not. And I want to leave you with one gem before I go, and this is something that I deem very important. Learn the 27 amendments. If you don't know what amendments are, these are basically, you can call them rules that are set in place to protect people's rights, to make sure that everyone's being treated fairly, and to govern and protect the people of the United States of America. Learn it. If you're going to become a citizen here, it's something that you're going to need to know when you get naturalized. That's my piece of gem for the day.
Okay, bye.
That's the end of the video. Now that I've equipped you with what America has to offer on a very large scale, this is not by any means everything the country has to offer. It is a beautiful country and there's unlimited opportunities here. But before you dive in and start enjoying yourself and making a life in America, I've created a video that will tell you exactly what to do step by step once you land foot on American soil. It should pop up on one of these sides. Click on the video and I'll see you in the next one.